It's a very good evening. Welcome back. I have an Aldi beer, another Aldi beer, which is Birra Italiana. Basically, they're going for the Peroni angle. Like all their beers that are like rip-offs, what I'm expecting this to be is a serviceable, cheap beer. This is imported from Italy, and it's a 5% beer. So it's, got the ABV, but often you find with them, if you watch any of the other things that I've posted, is that they do compromise a little bit on flavour. They don't taste too much. They tend to be perfectly serviceable. I mean, for a 500ml bottle, I think it's about £1.50, which is not bad at all if it's drinkable. Beer looks absolutely fine in the glass. So for a 5%, £1.50 bottle of beer from Aldi that's imported from Italy, what are we going to get? So initially, upon the bottle opening, it was a little bit skunky, which, if you've watched beer reviews before, comes from the green bottle. Basically, they really shouldn't put them in green or clear bottles, because what happens is that the sunlight will hit the beer and it interacts with the hops and makes them smell skunky, meaning a bit like weed, a bit like cannabis. But the skunkiness in this, in fairness, has dissipated very quickly. And what I'm left with is a clean, fresh, slightly citrusy, a little bit grassy, but not in the weed sense. But yeah, it smells okay. You good health. Exactly as I suspected. Exactly to the letter. I haven't had this before, but I've had plenty of their beer. There's nothing wrong with it, but there's nothing particularly right with it either, other than the fact that it hasn't got any off flavours. It doesn't have any metallic edge to it. It hasn't got any, of that horrible, almost artificial bitterness at the end. It's fine. It just doesn't taste of a great deal. It does finish well. It's actually a lot nicer now than it was when I was drinking it. Let's go again. Yeah, nice mouthfeel. Doesn't taste of an awful lot, but finishes off really nice and clean. And it does have a bitter kind of hoppy finish. Just not much malt in it, not much malt flavour. But for a cheap bottle of beer, you could do a heck of a lot worse. So that is Birra Italiana lager, available in Aldi. And as I've mentioned with their other kind of tribute beers that they do, or rip-off beers, whatever you care to call them, these things fly off the shelf. If you look at them, when I was in there was only about 2 bottles of this left. People absolutely clear the shelves of them. And so they're doing something right, aren't they? Not necessarily for me to go out and buy, but as I've often said, if I was offered this at someone's house or a barbecue or something like that, I'd have absolutely no problem accepting it. I wouldn't complain. Gladly drink 2 or 3 of them. It's inoffensive enough. Probably around about a 6 out of 10 at best, 5.5. Yeah. So if you buy it, let me know. Put a comment in. Let me know what you reckon. And once again, here's to your good health. Cheers.